Hey mates, and welcome to Blindformers. I'm your host Blind Prime, and for today we're going to be covering the transformation for Transformers Haslab Optimus Prime RID 2001. It's a really fun transformation, and I am excited to bring it to you today. So before we get into the video, please like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment below telling me what is your favorite scene of Optimus Prime from Robots in Disguise 2001. I'd love to hear from you, and I mean it. I do hear from you because I can't read the comments, so I have a little accessibility technology assistant that reads me the comments for you. No, yeah, reads me the comments for you. Whatever. Anyway, today's video is going to be about Optimus Prime here, and I'm going to be teaching you how to transform him. So let's get right into it, because this is going to be a weird one. First off, what you want to do is take Cerebros from his little chair by the ladder, and we're gonna stretch his legs out here, and let's see, can you just kind of chill up here? Yeah, he can chill next to Cheeto. Yeah, Chester Cheetah. There we go. He can hang out next to Chester Cheetah. Now, this transformation, before we get into it completely, I do want to state a dislike I have about it. I want to make sure this is out of the gate. This thing is incredibly difficult to get back into vehicle mode, and it's because of all the balancing you need to accomplish for this back end. And we'll talk about that as the video progresses, but I wanted to make sure that you understood this back section isn't the easiest thing in the world to get back together, okay? I thought Siege Ultra Magnus was a difficult transformer to get back into vehicle mode, and I am dead wrong. This guy, he takes the cake as difficulty goes. So be aware of that whenever you're getting this figure. So first off, when we're transforming him, you want to come over here, and we're going to kind of just reach into this area. So feel where his head is in the center of the fire truck underneath the ladder. Draw your finger towards the front of the fire truck, and you'll find there's a panel under here that flips up. You want to flip that panel up, and then push your finger down in there and push that panel down that's below it. I'll flip it over for you. There's that panel below it, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to pull at the sides of this transformer. So grab the edge here, and we're just going to kind of yank it and pull it just a little bit, but not too difficulty, and we should break things. There it is. Look at that. We already broke it. So it's a little easier for me to break it this time because I kind of had a lot of difficulty getting it back together, and I semi got it back together. I'm like, that's good enough for the episode. So we can pull away this back bit with this ladder. Now, something that I've learned that I can do with mine, and I don't know if you can do with yours, but it may make things easier for you in the long run. You could take this ladder, and just because this ladder is an annoying thing, you can just go ahead and pull it off. I pull it off, and I set it off to the side. I don't know if it's supposed to do that, but my copy does that, and you know what? I like that. It stops this back section from being so floppy and overweight. So we can set that off to the side. Now we're going to come over here to the side of Optimus Prime, and this thing that's attached to the panels we just pulled apart. And this thing is these little fence posts, and it makes up the sides of the fire truck before the back wheels get there. So we've got to take these parts off, and you just want to spin that out, and then you're going to lightly just kind of, don't yank, don't pull too hard, but you want to disconnect it. And in there is, so on one side here, we've got a little hole in there, a little rectangular peg hole. And then here on this little flap that we just pulled off, that's right above the wheel for the front of Optimus Prime's cab, this little flap has got a little peg on the end of it, a rectangular one, but it's got a lip on it, so it locks in place very well. But that also means it can be difficult to unattach everything. This is one of those more instances of like, I really wish they'd use more siege ports and pegs to get everything attached, because those are great. So you want to carefully, you don't want to break that, okay? So on this other side, we're just going to carefully wiggle it, and we're going to wiggle it a bit more, and we're just going to rotate it out. Being very careful not to damage it. Now we've got these parts too. There's one of them, and then here's the other one. And something I like to do with them, because, why not, is I spread out the little fence post things, and they sit on this little square bit, and we can set that off to the side over there next to his gun, and we can undo that one and fold it out, and we can also set it over there next to the gun. And his gun is this fun little gun, and it actually fits, and I can explain that to you before we get into the transformation too much. It fits in this, so rotate your figure upside down and feel in front of the wheels. So find the wheels and then go to the front of the figure, and you'll see that there's these big rectangle bits that are actually the legs, and then there's the knees right there that are all ratcheted down, and you got this big gappy area in the middle. And what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of get this guy to leverage in there. And it's not the easiest thing in the world to get him to do. I'm honest with you on that one. This is not the easiest transformer to get into the right shapes, but you can, and once you do, it looks pretty good, in my opinion. It's just getting him to lock this thing in there is always a pain. It's always a pain, but you can lock it in there. And what I found is the best way to lock it in there. There it goes. No, that's not locked. So if you feel at the front, there's this little wedge cut out, and then underneath it, there's just a little edge. And if you feel at the back of this, there's this little edge right behind these two spinny things, directly opposite of the barrel. So what we're going to do is we're going to get that little edge underneath the other little edge. And then we can rotate this down. And come on now. There it goes. And there it is. It's in there. So that ain't going anywhere, okay? It's stuck in there. Now, the difficult thing is getting it out. You can't really get it out right now. You got to first untransform it a bit before you can get that gun out. But that gun is in there now, and it ain't going anywhere. So that's some good gun storage, in my opinion. I wish it had been a peg where we could have been able to lock it into a peg, but setting it in there sideways and locking it down works out pretty good. And the way I did it is the wheels face this little cutout in the bumper, and the barrel goes between the legs, and it faces his groin area right there. So he's going to be shooting himself in the groin, and that's how you know you've done it right. All right, now let's get to the main robot. Let's get to the main picture of this show. Right now, this part is kind of neat. I was not expecting this part to be like this. So feel the top of your fire truck, and you'll find there's a line that runs down the middle of it, right in front of these light bars. So find the light bars, and then right in front of them, there is a line you can put your thumbnail into. So what we're going to do is we're going to put one hand on this guy at the top, and we're going to put another hand at the front, okay? So one hand should be at the top, around behind the light bars. The other hand should be in the front of the vehicle, in front of the light bars. Then you're going to kind of pull them apart. There it goes. And we disconnected. Okay, now we're going to come around here to the sides, and we're going to pull the wheels out a bit. Since we made that disconnection, it's going to be easier to pull those wheels out. Now that we made the disconnection happen, and we pulled the wheels out, and the flappy doodles on the sides, then we can come back to this, and we can pull the rest of it out. And then we wiggle it just a bit, and hopefully that will give us enough room to get this gun out of here. So we're just going to wiggle it just a bit more. Come on. Come on now, Mr. Gun. Get out of there. There it goes. You just got to kind of break the gun a little bit. No, not actually break it, but just break that connection, and then the gun will easily fall out, and you can set it over here. Or, you can have some fun with it, and we can put it on this this platform I built over here. Where's this good spot? There it is. Yeah, you can just set it right there. There we go. And now he's got like a little weapon stand. So now we have got this weird looking thing, and this is the part where you're gonna drag or pull the top of the vehicle all the way until it lines up with these legs. So you can pull it away, further back, but it's going to stop because of these things on his that are on the top of the fire truck, which will be his back. They stop you from going any further. Now we're going to move around here to the front area, and we're going to continue pulling these legs down. There it goes. Listen to those wonderful ratchets. I love ratchets. Now we're going to split the legs. Okay. There we go. Look at that. It's already looking pretty good, in my opinion. Now, next step is we're going to come down here to the legs, and we're going to fold these panels. These panels are going to get folded backwards, and they're on a double joint. So you got to find the double joint. So feel right, find the wheel, drag your finger down to where this leg is, and you'll find there's a joint right there. Now, if you turn it at that joint, it only goes 90 degrees. And that's not going to work, right? That makes them too wide. So feel below that, and there's another little joint. So grab it really close to the joint because you don't want to break this, and you want to lightly pull. And what I do is I lightly pull at the front and the back, and then that disconnects itself, and then we can rotate that down. Make sure there's this little piece here. Make sure it folds up to cover the underside of the wheel. I like the fact that we get this little cover that covers the wheel. It is kind of fun. And then this little bit on the end, the little flappy doodle we talked about earlier, is just going to fold all the way to the back of the leg. Now we're going to do the same process over here on this side. We're going to fold this down. Then we're going to find that hinge, and we're going to break the little hinge. Remember, we're not breaking it. We're just breaking the connection. All right, there it goes. It's disconnected, and then it spins all the way back, and it locks into place very well on the side of the leg, and then that little flappy doodle goes to the further back. Now, we're going to come down here to where the feet will be. Rotate the leg just a bit so you can get at the inset of the leg, the inside area of the leg. And so find the screw hole, and then find this wonderful corrugated steel pattern. And then you'll find a place that doesn't have the corrugated steel pattern. And that is actually a little door. So find the corrugated steel pattern, find the door, then find this little edge that's between the door and the corrugated steel, and then pull, and you'll open it up. Then you can reach in here and you rotate this corrugated steel pattern and the screw all the way around into the interior of the leg, which allows this foot to come to the exterior. And then we can reach our fingernail in and pull out the little heel. Then we close that little door back, and we rotate the foot so it's facing the correct way. All right, first foot done. And the correct way, of course, is this nice, sleek armor. I think that's the correct one. Yeah, I am pretty sure that is how it does. Either way, or it does like that. I mean, it's your toy. So I think we're going to set it up where... Oh, no. What's going on with you, Mr. Leg? Mr. Foot, what's up with you? Why are you bent downwards? Mr. Foot. Okay, so... Still trying to figure out this. I'm still learning this figure a little bit. So we can get that to straighten out. There it goes. All right. Mr. Foot, are you better now? Did I mistransform you or something? Mr. Foot? Huh? There it goes. Yeah, that's a better foot. So we're going to rotate this so that the side of the truck is on this side. In this area that we just put we just pulled this little cool flap to cover the wheel. That's going to be the front, I assume. I'm not exactly 100% sure on that. Now, let's come over here to this other side, and we're going to follow the same process. We'll find that little door. We'll pull it open. Then we're going to rotate the entire foot assembly out, and rotating that corrugated steel pattern in, and then we're going to lock the door back down, and then we can rotate the foot and reach in here and grab the little foot pad and pull that out. Now, you can have this as the front of the leg, but like I said, I like the leg being this one. I like this being the front of the leg because it's got that cool stuff. It's just a cooler leg. So there we go. Legs done. Yay! He can even stand, and he looks weird. So let's come up here to the top. Now, to get his arms transformed, what we're going to do is we're going to reach around here to the back. You can find that there's this panel that's almost a circle. It's like a squarish, circle-ish pattern. And this panel folds up. Yeah. It's right behind the, so find the light bars, find that siege port in the middle of the light bars, then find the rectangular peg hole that's right behind the light bars, and then that area behind that rectangular thing picks up and unlocks the arms. Now that the arms are unlocked, they each can fold forwards. So we're going to fold each of the arms forwards. Make sure that you use your middle fingers to pull these little flaps up. That way they don't get caught on anything. And then you can let them lower down whenever it gets to that. Now we're going to come down here to the side, and we're going to rotate and pull. Rotate and pull. We're not going to put too much pressure on it, okay? This is all about being careful and rotating carefully and pulling carefully. Then once you've pulled this arm section, once you pull this armor section down, you want to rotate the arm, and then you're going to put it up at its elbow so that the arm is facing towards this front area. And then you want to collapse the armor in and reach in here and pull this hand out until it clicks. Then rotate the hand around, and that's the first arm done. Now this side over here, we're going to follow the same process. We're just going to kind of find and pull this bit out. Come on. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. It can be a little difficult. This part of the transformation, these slides don't like to slide. There it goes. Okay, and I knocked off a light bar. We can set the light bar off to the side. Those light bars fall off all the time. With all the screws and pins they used, I'm surprised they didn't use them for that. Now you can turn it up at its elbow, and then we're going to push the armor back in, reach in here and grab the hand. Make sure the hand is pulled out till it clicks. The hand is. We managed to accomplish that. Wonderful. Now the hands are done. And the arms are done and the legs are done. Now we got to work on this core because he's like in giraffe mode right now. That is just a lot of midsection that is very, very thin. He is a belly dancer. Look at him belly dance. Oh yeah, look at him belly dance. Oh yeah. All right. So what we're gonna do now is the difficult part, and the part that's been the part's been messing people up all the time, and definitely scares me because of the QC. So we're going to do a split in his legs. Put your hand on his groin. I mean, palm of your hand on his groin. Wrap your thumb around to the back of his groin area. Put your thumb on his butt. And then put your fingers on the front of his groin area. And now you want to take your other hand and put it onto the other top of the figure. Fingers on the chest. Thumb on his backpack area. And then we're going to push together while wiggling. Okay, so you want to wiggle and push, wiggle and push, wiggle and push. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. And if you feel up here, you can find that there is a hollow section in there that's now been filled by this piece of plastic, which is the top of the slide. One more push just to make sure we got it all in there. We did get it all in there. Isn't that nice? Next step is we're going to come around here to his back. We're going to pull this panel. You can find there's a little lip sticking out. You can pull that lip down. And this entire back panel comes out, and just like normal Optimus Primes, a head comes out of that back panel, and we'll go to the front. There we go. Now we're going to close his legs. All right, and then we're going to close this leg. All right, there it goes. Legs closed, feet out, arms, and body. There is Optimus Prime. Let's give him his gun. He's got a little bit... nuts! He's got a little bitty pistol. So we're going to put a little pistol there. There it is. And that is how you transform Robots in Disguise 2001 Optimus Prime fire truck into the normal Optimus Prime. Now tune in next Prime, where I will teach you how to transform him into his Super Mode. But before we do that, I did want to give this a final grade. I think that this transformation is sturdy and strong. It's got a few parts that are annoying to get undone because of the sliding mechanisms, but I'm a lover of complex transformations that you can't just do in a few moments. You have to actually spend a little time at, and a little energy, and think about, and be careful with. I appreciate transformations like this, so I'm going to give this transformation, and I think I'm going to give it, yeah, it's getting an A+. I wish I could give it an S rank, but I just can't. And it's because of getting him back into the fire truck mode that he doesn't get an S rank. Getting him back into the fire truck mode is the most difficult I've come across. But we can go ahead and, before we finish this video out, go ahead and put this light bar back on his back. And I like how the light bars just kind of set down like little wings that are all folded up on his back. But we'll talk about his robot mode in a video on his robot mode in the future. But right now, that is how you transform him. Now, let me know in the comments if I'm supposed to actually have his legs turned differently. But I'm pretty sure I got the legs turned the correct way. But then again, I could be wrong. It's been forever since I've seen that show. And it isn't like I've seen any pictures of him anytime soon. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. I hope you've enjoyed the show. I've enjoyed making it for you. Until next Prime, bye-bye for now.